The pandemic has hit musicians especially hard. They've lost more than half a year's worth of gigs. NBC Bay Area's Rosato Jr. shows us how one unusual Marin County musician is using the time to share his love of playing.
You know the instrument, probably have an idea of the kind of music normally played on it. And while musician Tim Weed loves the traditional banjo sound, he's known for taking it somewhere else.
I started out at 16 years old with this deep interest in the banjo.
Somewhere along the way, this one-time Southern California surfer kid discovered a banjo could be as much at home in a concert hall as in a holler.
Somehow the banjo sneaks up on people and it transcends what they expect from it.
Since there isn't much of a repertoire of classical music written for five-string banjo, Weed wrote his own. And yet, there was always something missing.
I was always hearing the parallel symphonic accompaniment.
Just before the pandemic shut everything down, Weed traveled to Prague in the Czech Republic to realize a long-time dream.
And this project came together where I got to be in Prague and record with an A-list studio orchestra, performing my pieces.
Weed recorded two of his long-form compositions.
When the conductor drops the baton and the orchestra plays what you've been imagining, it's heavenly.
Nobody's ever done anything like what Tim is doing, which was literally a concerto or almost like a fantasia for banjo and orchestra.
It's been a difficult time for musicians like Weed who've lost gigs and musical fellowship.
The need to perform really comes from that synergy that's created with an audience.
Still, in the midst of COVID, Weed took advantage of the downtime to release an album of those symphonic recordings called Light and Dark. As for an audience, his version of banjo music seems to find fans wherever he plays. Rosato Jr., NBC Bay Area News.